Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Green once again on Arizona Real Estate and Homeowner Resources channel. And once again, I want to welcome Chris Stennett, a local home inspector who does a super job on home inspectors. And we want to talk about the 5 top items in a home inspection. So Chris, why don't you just refresh everybody's memory, provide your contact information, and then we'll jump right into the questions.
Sure. Christopher Stennett, Foresight Property Inspections, right here in the Phoenix Valley. So, my phone number, 480-694-7199.
And I got to apologize, I mispronounced your last name. So,
it's quite common. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's
okay. So let's talk about the top 5 items that you focus on in a home inspection. And given that these aren't all the items that you look at, but what's the top 5 that you look at? Let's go through them in series and chat about them for a little bit.
Sure. When I start my summaries, I usually start off with those top 5 items that we're going to be talking about. I like to start kind of in a sequence. So I always start with the roof because, just top of the house and work our way down. But the roof is extremely important because it is the hood of the exterior envelope. If anybody's ever experienced any failure in a roof, it can affect the walls, the ceilings, attic insulation, everything from the top down, because water is going to find its way through gravity. So the roof is extremely important in those cases. However, with anything and everything, there's always those limits. So we try to look at what we can and based off of that, give an idea of what's necessary, or what's possible. And so inspections are a series of observations that tells me how worried I should be about things I cannot see. And I want to thank my buddy Dylan Chalk up in Seattle for that one, because it's a brilliant statement that describes home inspections completely. And so we're trying to look at things about the roof to give an idea of potential issues. Now, one of the things that's going to be in my report always is no one ever gets an annual roof inspection or service. And so regardless, even if the roof is in decent condition, I'm typically going to recommend service, because usually there's some simple surface items that need to be done that could lead to problems such as cracking sealants, damaged penetrations, or just minor roof damage. But annual inspection and service of a roof can extend the life of a roof by 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with that. I've had a lot of people tell me that, and I've had my roof inspected every year or two, especially after the monsoon season. And yeah, most roofers will tell you, like you just said, that a 10-year roof, you'll get 30, 35 years out of it if you just move the tiles back into where the wind blew them out of position and stuff like that. So
that's right. With annual inspection stuff, if you got a tile roof and there's some broken tiles, get those tended to right away, and you save that. I have seen a single 1 or 2 broken roof tiles cause damage to 100 square feet or more of underlayment. So it's the small stuff that eventually leads to that. So getting that stuff, and 5 to 10 years is significant when you think about the cost of a roof. So
you bet.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so it's really a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Number 2, what's your second most important thing that you look at?
So that's going to be the foundation. I'm going to say is the second most important thing. Foundation is, well, it's really the most important thing, because everything in the house can be perfect, but if the foundation's faulty, if there's settling, there's movement, it can absolutely render the home unlivable if it gets too bad. But there's certain levels of structural we got to consider too. So we're looking at that, you're looking, again, we're going back to what do I see that tells me about what I can't see. So, if you ever heard of truss crush, that could be a sign of settling or movement in the foundation. So, your trusses in your roof structure are roughly every 2 feet. So if you start seeing indentions starting to show up in your ceiling along a wall every 2 feet, and it hasn't been there before, that is a possible sign that that could be the beginning signs of, you know, a roof or a foundation that may be moving, settling, or upheaving. You know, so it's these little things sometimes that need to be checked out because, you know, it could be something simple and small.
Yeah.
But then you've got horizontal cracks in a foundation that they're not necessarily bad. They're bad, but they're not, you know, fall down bad. It's something that you're going to have to get repaired. So what happens is rebar is in this structure, and with little cracks and things over time, if water hits the rebar, water and a little oxygen, it rusts. And as that rust expands, it actually expands with a tremendous amount of pressure.
Yeah.
It starts causing cracking and a horizontal cracking, and it actually starts causing chipping of the concrete foundation. So is that saying the home's going to fall? No, but eventually it's going to cause and chip to where it could erode away from what supports your structural walls. So it does eventually need to be fixed. So there's these little things that we're looking for. And people say, well, what causes that and what can prevent that? Sloping the grade away from the home.
Yeah.
And so often we don't pay attention to it. We don't know it. And there's a lot of professionals like landscapers and stuff. They come in, they move a bunch of dirt, they add rocks, they plant trees, they do all this stuff. And, you know, and then that can take away your slope or add excessive moisture there in the area and help cause that stuff. So structure, attics is another place to really notice some structure stuff. It's not uncommon when there's attic structures to find broken trusses, cut trusses, people replacing an AC unit or, you know, something like that. I did one a couple of weeks ago where the truss was broken, but you could see a structural strap was added. So chances are the builder, it happened when the builder was building the home. They added a structural strap to hold it in place, but it was still starting to degrade and bust apart. But if you have engineered trusses and they've been modified, repaired, cut, anything like that, they have to have approval by an engineer, and that certification, that copy of that has to be stamped to that area. So, you know, we're looking for all these little things. So structure is going to be number 2.
Okay, good deal. Well, there's a lot of useful information there. You know, I'm from back east, and I know that when water gets in the concrete and starts rusting those rebars, they just cause all sorts of havoc and integrity problems. So that's a good. Okay, so we got the top part down the roof and the bottom part down the foundation. Now you got to start looking at things in between those two, right? So what's number 3 on your list?
So we're looking at systems. You know, I've been my whole life in trades, but one of my favorite trades has always been in the electrical field. So I usually end up going to electrical field just because it's one of my favorites. The thing is with electric, you know, even plumbing and stuff like that, these are all important because while you've got your system, it controls so much other parts of the house, you know. So with the electrical system, that's, you know, that's how your AC's running. That's how even your gas range needs power for the igniters and stuff like that. So power is so crucial now with all the gadgets and stuff we added. And it's really important to, you know, make sure that, you know, we at least have some safety. And, you know, some of the most common small things are loose receptacles, minor damage to receptacles. While these are all simple and easy to fix, these things lead to arcing and stuff that can lead to fire. But we also are looking for the big stuff. Thermal imaging is really big for my electrical inspection. So if, you know, if people are ordering the thermal scan, which is about 99% of people, you know, I'm looking for overheating and stuff, things that can't be seen visibly sometimes. So if it hasn't started melting some of that outer coating or anything, we can find that. But electrical can be something so small can be also so dangerous. You know, if you get zapped by 60,000 volts on a taser, you might wet your pants and feel a little pain, but you're going to live. But if you drop a hair dryer in the water, you can electrocute yourself.
You never know what that.
Why is that? Because it only takes 1/10 of 1 amp to stop the heart.
Yeah, that's scary stuff. Yeah.
So making sure, you know, everything's in place, our grounding, our bonding, and everything's not overheating and things are rated properly and things of that nature. So electrical is going to be the definitely Right
Awesome.
there,
Good
top
deal.
5.
Yeah, electric. I have a degree in electrical engineering, and yep, electrical stuff goes everywhere and can be very dangerous. So, yeah. So number 3, what's number 3 on your list?
The other
Oh, I'm
big,
sorry. No, electrical is number 3. What's number 4?
that would be the other big system of plumbing.
Yeah.
You know, because plumbing, man, you know, plumbing, it's what we wash our dishes with, we clean our bodies with, we brush our teeth, drink, make food, we do all this stuff with it. But it's also one of those systems that can actually cause some of the most damage to a home. A busted pipe can create a lot of damage, or you know, improper fittings, connections can interfere with you know, venting, or even allow sewer gases into the home if things aren't right. So you know, plumbing, we want to look at the plumbing. You know, we want to, I do hydrostatic testing on all my stuff, even showers. If there's a tile shower, you know, I'm going to fill that shower pan up at least an inch, maybe an inch and a half or whatever, a little bit, see if we got leaks. Is the shower pan in the right place?
That's a good idea.
And working, because if not, you know, I a brand new home, I was inspecting a brand new home, both showers tiled, and both of them leaked badly.
Wow. Yeah.
One soaked a hall closet and its or a bedroom closet and its carpet, and the other one, you could just see the water running into the garage.
Yeah. You know, I recently did a video on why you should get a new home inspected, and you just hit the nail right on the head, because you know, there's several things about a new home. Nobody's lived there, so you don't have any idea of what the problems are. And second of all, a lot of these home builders will hide behind this not warranty for workmanship sort of crap. So yeah, that new home inspection is critical.
Well, you know, builders are always in a hurry. It's all about speed and trying to get things done.
Yeah.
You have a lot of trades that have definitely been short manpower, and they're human.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah.
perfect. So things get missed. I mean, we found, you know, AC units completely reversed.
Wow.
So your supply air is coming out of the return vent, and all your supply vents are sucking air out of the home.
Not a good idea for that.
Attics missing insulation,
Yeah.
you know, vents open to rain. I mean, just there's all kinds of things that we have found, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
from plumbing leaks to even some structural cases. A home I was doing about a month ago, the foundation, we could see the cracking and everything, and the rebar was starting to rust, and it's causing what I was talking about earlier at the foundation. But when I was looking at it, I removed this little piece, and the rebar is right at the edge of the concrete pad.
Wow.
They did the forms, it should have been at least 3 inches off.
Yeah.
So somewhere during that pour or whatever, before the pour, they didn't get that right.
Yeah.
So going to new home inspections, is people think, oh, we don't have to, it's new, it's getting inspected by the county too, or the city. But these guys are overworked, and they also miss stuff. So having another set of eyes and going from the pour, they're called phase inspections, and taking those different sections and having someone inspect that stuff for you, because structure, pad pours, we'll never see that again.
Yeah. 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 It's covered up. You'll never see it until you got a big problem.
That's right. And then you get big problems, things sinking, cracking, whatever, stuff adjusting, and that's where a lot of that can be saved. So, you know,
That's awesome.
So plumbing is going to be huge in that case, because we can also see the plumbing.
Yeah.
Did they use a stud shoe because they cut too much of the stud out to get the plumbing to go through there, or whatever the case may be? But we're looking to make sure it's venting properly. We want to make sure that we've got good water flow, there's no leaks, and all these things that could lead to damage, termite conducive conditions, mold.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So to round out the top 5, what's your 5th thing that you look at?
So I put it at 5, I guess, because it's really one of the smaller of all the systems, but most people would say, hey, in Arizona, the AC is number 1. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But the AC is going to be right there. You know, if you're up north, you're looking at the heat more, but here in Arizona, yeah, we look at the heat, but that AC, how's it functioning? You know, what's the age? You know, are we getting air at all the vents? You know, there's certain aspects that we can't do, check pressures, but there's enough that when I'm looking at a system, that if there's enough piled up, I can say, hey, we got some problems. This system's this old. We're seeing this, you know, it's towards the end of its life, or, you know, it needs service, it needs repair, because there's nothing worse than finding out that, and granted, an AC could be working the day of the inspection, and 2 months later, you move in, summer hits, you turn it on the first time, and a capacitor blows or something else fails,
Yeah.
and that's very possible.
Yeah.
But usually based on age and condition, we can give you somewhat of something to expect. So it's not such a complete surprise.
Awesome.
So definitely that's got to be in their top 5. And I would say those are the top 5. Those are the big things. And the number one, or the first things that everybody wants to know first.
That's awesome. That's a good list and pretty comprehensive. And so you heard it here first from Chris Stinnett, who's an awesome home inspector here in the Arizona area. So Chris, why don't you just finish up, give them your complete contact information once again so that they contact you if they want to find out what they're buying or just have their home inspected.
Yeah. So Christopher Stinnett, Foresight Property Inspections, 480-694-7199. And you can also reach me by email at fpiinspectors@gmail.com. And, we even do maintenance inspections. But if you just got a question, you're not sure where to go and you need guidance, you can give me a call as well. I try to do what I can to answer that stuff, and there's no charge for that.
That's a great effort. Always happy to help. Yeah, we're both here to help. And if you don't know my name is Jeff Green. I'm a local realtor here in the Phoenix area, and I cover Arizona. I also help people create wealth through real estate. So if you're looking for what I call post box money, give me a shout. You can reach me at jeff@jeffgreenrealtor.com. Spell the first name GEOFF, and you can call me directly at 602-790-2927 if you have any questions at all. So Chris, I think that's a wrap. So I'm going to stop the recording now, and just remember to subscribe and share this channel. If you subscribe, you'll get updates when you get more useful information like this video.
And Jeff, you always compliment me. So before you stop, I'll just mention to everybody and stuff. It's been a pleasure over the time that we've gotten to know each other and still getting to know you. And it's a pleasure always chatting with you. For anybody out there, I know that your intentions are good. You work very hard on getting the best information out there. And, it's a pleasure to be associated with you.
Well, that's awesome. And likewise, Chris. And I'm sure we'll meet up face to face soon. So I'm gonna sort of stop the recording here and contact either one of us if you have any questions about anything. So hope this works. Have a great day.